Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Fab's in the house. And today I've got the Ohlone Abohlone knife with me for a review, and we're gonna analyze the look, the sound, and the feel of this guy. But hey, don't forget to like the video and to subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying this kind of content. So let's see how big this guy is. Because it's not a big one. Its overall length is going to be around 6.5 inches, 6.4 with a 2.6-inch long blade and I would say roughly 3.7-inch long handle. And let's see how this guy is comparing, how he's doing up against, for example, Ontario Rat number 2 and Ontario Rat number 1. All right, so pretty popular knives, smaller than the Ontario Rat number 2, of course, and of course way smaller than the Rat number 1. But for example, here you have Para 3 from Spyderco, and also you've got the chance to check it out up against the Spyderco Paramilitary 2, so big boy. But for example, check out this Chris Reeve Knives small Sebenza 21, which is bigger than that, and that's not a big knife, like for example as big as the also Chris Reeve Knives large Sebenza 21. It's much bigger than that. I'm gonna show you another couple here. This is the Custom Knife Factory 520, designed by Philippe Georget. And also another Russian beauty, it's the Snafu 2.0, also Custom Knife Factory produced, but designed by the Canadian Peter Rassenti. And another couple Russians here in the house. We've got Neon Zero by Shirogorov and F95R, which is the bigger brother of that. So again, look at that. This is a very nice size, but this is a tiny one compared to that. Let's not even take in consideration the F95. Another couple of popular options. We have this Indoor Knives XM18. This is a 3.5-inch long blade, so you have the idea of the size of the Ohlone, and also up against the Koenig Knives Arius. This is style 55, and I'm going to show you another couple of small ones. This is the Lion Steel TRE or Tre in Italian, because it's like 3. And this is the small Strige by Cheburkov, another beautiful knife for sure. And let me show you another couple here, just because, you know, why not? Of course, one of the best Spectre around there. This is the version 3 Prestige. And what else can I show you? All right. Now, because we are talking about fully dressed stuff, Dama Steel and Mokutai, this is Mokume, but this is the Peter Rassenti large Nirvana 3.0. I'm gonna show you another one just because I like the Canadian stuff. I'm Canadian, and this is the Kirby Lambert Rain with dragon skin, zirconium, and carbo quartz scale. So you have the idea on the size of this little guy, relatively small guy, right over here. So Ohlone Abohlone, Ohlone Knives Abohlone is the model. It's a tiny one. It's very nice. It's elegant. It's made in China. It's gonna be around $800, so it's not a cheap one. But this is a custom version knife, and you have this very interesting mokume scale going on over here with this pattern, like showing some oranges, some red, some yellow. It's nicely done. It looks like almost like wood. It's nicely chamfered. You see, it's not like just a slab of mokume. It's nicely done, nicely rounded off to the side. There's some chamfering going on over here, a little bit going on the inside. And it's nicely done. I mean, the scales are pretty thick. In fact, that's going to reflect in the weight, the overall weight. There's no skeletonization going on the inside. You have one mokume, one side in mokume, one side in titanium, with some very finely milled lines. I don't know if you can appreciate that, but they are there. Of course, there's also like a mokume backspacer with no option for the lanyard hole going on. You have just titanium lock bar with no stainless steel insert right over here, but I'm not experiencing any lock stick in this one, so very nicely designed from the geometric point of view. Also, you have an external cutout relief for the lock bar right over here. You have nicely designed hardware, so very, very straightforward T8 Torx bit screw. You just unscrew this, unscrew that, you're done. I mean, in 5 minutes you can maintain this little puppy. Right over here, you're gonna pop it open. This screw is completely flush with the handle. This is protruding, but it's domed, so it's not obnoxious in any ways. It's not gonna hurt you or whatever. It's not gonna, you can't complain about that, but it's sticking out a little bit. Also, you've got a spinning pivot. This is not captive, so just remember that. Super easy to disassemble. You've got a nicely 3D milled titanium pocket clip, almost dip carry, with a beautiful tension attached to it, so it's gonna be a breeze in and out of the pocket. Really, really good. Tip-up carry only. It's not reversible, so it's right-sided only. And if you check this blade, guys, this is a very cool one. Would you look at this pattern going on over here? And because of the grind that is going on over here, it's flat, but it's kind of like a dual edge kind of blade with this area, triangular area over here in the tanto, which is full belly here. I mean, full belly here and also curved here. It's not a straight edge whatsoever right there. Nice and thin stock overall. You've got some nice jimping, which is actually maybe, it's not aggressive. It's also not 100% accessible because it's kind of like flush with this handle over here, but you can feel it. It's there. So it's usual. Is useful, it's functional, so it's good. You have no chamfering going on the spine. You have a little bit of chamfering going on right over here, right next to the jimping, and then nice shape. I mean, I like this. This is like a mini katana kind of thing, and look at that, nice belly, nice. The stock thickness is it's not too thick, but it's relatively thick behind the edge because of the way this blade has been ground. And you can see, like right here on the sharpening choil, maybe that it's not fully sharpened up to the end. So this area, very end of the area, it's not sharpened right over there. Also, you see right over here the Ohlone logo. Maybe you can see like that. It's not very visible. It's not obtrusive. It leaves pretty clean the overall look of the blade, I think. So overall, the lines are flowing beautiful. Like there's a nice curve over here, which is translating into a straight line, and then that dips down, and then you have a couple of bellies here, and then again, it's very sinuous. It's very, very cool. And when it's closed, the blade basically disappears. There's nothing sticking out. It just reaches to this point, leaving a little bit of amount of unused length on the blade, therefore affecting the handle to blade ratio, as you can clearly see from this perspective. The sound this guy makes is also interesting because it's like this. I mean, this is the gentleman carry 100%, because the sound is just like this, very gentle, very minimal. When you close it, nobody's gonna notice. It's almost inaudible. It's very subdued. Look at this, very mellow, super soft and rich at the same time, but very, very light sound. It's beautiful, like a lullaby. Look at that. Very, very good. What I don't really like about this guy is the weight, because it's gonna be 3.7 ounces, guys. So not a light one for the size, I mean, because there's no skeletonization going on, and mokume is kind of like a heavy kind of metal, but overall, I mean, it's okay. It's 3.7 ounces. It's fine. It's gonna be feeling good in the hand too, even if it's a small one for me, but it feels good. It's something nice. You can easily, you know, cut, and there's no hot spot. Maybe a little bit, like if you squeezed like that much, it's not gonna hurt, but you feel that you feel the pocket clip a little bit digging into your hand, just a tiny bit. Also, you've got this jimping going on, so it's gonna feel all right. It's not aggressive. It's not like the best, but it's there. I mean, you can functionally take advantage of that. I wouldn't really like do any kind of reverse grip, because look at that. There's some chunk missing. Yeah, no, it doesn't work for me, at least. But overall, guys, this is a solid one. It's nicely built. It's sturdily built, and I have to say, you have. Of course, like a very, very smooth feeling when you rub like up against the scale like that, because it's polished mokume. Of course, it's smooth. There's no texture going on over here, but overall, I don't see any gaps, any misalignments. It's nicely put together. There's no blade play. There's no lock rock. There's no rattling when shaken. The clip release tension is very good. I mean, feels absolutely good. The deployment speed is also nice. We have this curiously designed flipper tab, which is unobtrusive, not sticking out. Nick Shabazz should be pretty happy about this, but there's no jimping here. So basically you're using a light switch action kind of thing right up against the tangle of the blade. This is the side that just makes contact with the lock bar right there. And it's unusual. I mean, it's the first time that I'm seeing this. This would be like a perfect front flipper, like just having a little bit of sticking, tang sticking out over here. Perfect front flipper right over here. But also it works like that with a nice light switch action, not so much as a push button. Yeah, it's not going to work because, like, as you can see, if you push button, then you see the finger is going to be in the way and it's going to block basically the blade from opening. So that's why you want to do a light switch, and it's going to be deploying reliably. So no issues there. There is going to be actually a little bit of finger sore because of this area over here is not 100% rounded off. It's a little bit on the sharp side. So that's, yeah, one of my nitpick about this one, but overall it's pretty smooth. This guy is running on ceramic ball bearings, which makes the action pretty fast, I have to say, and also has it doesn't have any detent ball ramp, so you're gonna feel a little bit of a hard step right over here. Not that much, because the detent ball is not that protruding that much, but you still can feel that. Also, you have, of course, like a nice free-falling action as soon as you disengage the lock bar, and you have no guillotine effect when you keep the blade in the vertical position. You just need to wiggle a little bit in order for it to close with inside of the handle. So, I mean, overall, this is a very, very cool looking knife, guys. The look is fantastic, very elegant, very, very gentleman, very dressy. It's full dress. I mean, half dress because of this side, but still, it's Damascus, Mokutai, titanium. Materials are precious, are, expensive, and that's gonna reflect also in the cost of the knife, because it's gonna be around $800. Also, the grip is good. The sound is very, very minimal, very, very elegant and subdued. The grip is not the best because, again, it's a small one. But the action also is pleasant to close and to fidget with. It's fine. There's a little bit of roundness which has been missed in the flipper tab, but overall I like this guy. It's very elegant. So there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe. And thanks for watching. Stay tuned.